Welcome, Grammar Pirates! I'm so glad to start learning with you, and we are going to begin with 4 types of sentences. Now, why Grammar Pirates? It seems that most grammar terms begin with the letter P, and it's a lot of fun. So get ready to experience grammar like you never have before. Why do we have 4 types of sentences? As a writer, you want to share the emotion behind the words on the page. If someone was angry or surprised, it wouldn't have the same tone or emotion while the person is speaking. We don't want to lose the emotion when you put it on paper, and that's why punctuation is so very, very important. After all, you don't want all of your sentences to sound exactly the same. Ugh. So we're going to start with declarative sentences, and to declare something means to say or state something. This can oftentimes be a statement of fact, or it can be seen as a basic sentence. It ends with a period. And in our example sentence, this writer is sharing is won $1 million, as though it is not a big deal and just a statement. So if I just say, I won $1 million, I am making a statement, and there's not a whole lot of emotion with that. An interrogative sentence is a fancy way of saying a question. Think about an interrogation on a police show. They're asking a lot of questions. Here is the same sentence as before, but with a different punctuation mark. See that different punctuation mark here? We've got a question mark. So it's the same sentence. Can you hear how a person's voice changes near the end of a question? I won $1 million? See how you have that at the end? That's how an interrogative sentence sounds as you're reading it out loud with that question mark, which is why that's so critical. An exclamatory sentence has a lot of feeling packed behind that exclamation point. The reader should know that there's a lot of feeling attached to these words, and it should be spoken or read to reflect that exclamation point. I won $1 million! That's an exclamatory sentence. An imperative sentence, I also call it a parent sentence. They can end in a period or they can end in an exclamation point, depending on how much emotion is behind the sentence. If I read this sentence to you, there's not a lot of emotion behind it. Pick up your money. It has a little bit of urgency, but not a lot. This second sentence has a lot of urgency attached to it, as if the person has told you to do something a number of times. Pick up your money. The command is always directed towards you. So the subject is you, but you actually can't see it written down. It's implied, which means it's inferred. So let's take a little bit of time to practice. You're going to be adding and writing down what punctuation should this group of words end with, and what type of a sentence is it? Is it interrogative, exclamatory, declarative? Or I can't remember the one that I forgot. Interrogative, declarative, exclamatory, imperative, our parent sentence. So number 1, is that your puppy? Number 2, how big is that dog? Number 3, walk your caterpillar. Whose pencil is on the floor? Number 5, sushi is my favorite food. All right, so let's see how you did. Is that your puppy is an interrogative and should have a question mark. How big is that dog is an exclamatory. You're not just saying like, that's a big dog. You're using a lot of emotion in that. Walk your caterpillar is a parent sentence, an imperative. You're giving a command. So this one doesn't have a lot of urgency, so you want to put a period there. Whose pencil is on the floor is an interrogative, a question with a question mark. And sushi is my favorite food has a lot of emotion behind it with an exclamation point, making it an exclamatory sentence. Now, if you're thinking, wait a minute, Sushi is my favorite food could have a period. You're right. The sentence is interesting and can depend on the context or what's around the sentence or the situation. If I'm just telling someone about my favorite food in a conversation, this may be a declarative sentence with a period. If I say it like I'm very excited about my opinion, it will be an exclamatory sentence. Both are technically correct. This is why what's around a sentence, that context, can often give you more of an invitation as to the tone and amount of emotion in a thought. Again, that end punctuation matters as well as what's around a sentence. So that's our first grammar lesson. I hope it helps you think about the 4 types of sentences and why punctuation is actually very important. And until next time, grammar pirates, I will see you later. Rawr.